Let's go across to Charu Pragya, BJP spokesperson, along with defense expert Colonel DPK Pillay and political analyst Sandeep Singh, all of whom are joining us on this panel. And this is something that takes us back to the Kargil war, given the kind of insensitive comments that have come in from a few, the likes of Shashi Tharoor, also Mehbooba Mufti, and political reactions continue to pour in. But Sandeep Singh, why would, let's say a Shashi Tharoor today agreed that, former President Musharraf is no more, and you're out there to pass on your good wishes to the family members and to him alone, but why bring in the work that he'd done for India, wherein everything that he did for India was with an aim to bring down our forces, to bring down our country and to bleed our country? Why this kind of an insensitive remark today?
देखिए, ये उनका व्यक्तिगत बयान हो सकता है या उनकी व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणी हो सकती है, लेकिन पूरे देश को, जो हमारे शहीद हैं, उनको सम्मान करना चाहिए और ऐसे लोगों पर टिप्पणी करना, ऐसे लोगों को शांति का दूत कहना, ये बिल्कुल गलत है। ये उनकी व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणी होती है, लेकिन देश के और जो पाकिस्तान का समर्थन करना या ऐसे किसी भी नेता का समर्थन करना बिल्कुल ही गलत है। और क्या बोलते हैं, अमर्यादित टिप्पणी से कहूंगा कि देश के खिलाफ जो व्यक्ति ऐसे षड्यंत्र रच रहा है, उसके लिए ये बिल्कुल अमर्यादित टिप्पणी है। मैं इसका समर्थन बिल्कुल नहीं करता हूँ। लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि देश के अंदर भी जो ऐसे तमाम लोग बैठे हैं जो नफरत फैलाने का काम करते हैं, चाहे वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के तमाम सांसद हों या वो, तो उस पर भी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को आगे आकर देश के अंदर भी जो नफरत फैल रही है उसके बारे में ध्यान देना चाहिए। हर चीज को कांग्रेस से जोड़कर, हर चीज को कांग्रेस के बड़े नेता,
बहुत आपने बहुत अच्छी शुरुआत की। आपने कहा ये बहुत गलत बयान है और ऐसा बयान बिल्कुल भी नहीं झेलना चाहिए, फिर आप भाजपा पे चले गए। सर, कभी तो वी कैन स्टिक टू व्हाट हैज बीन सेड बाय शशि थरूर, वी कैन स्टिक टू व्हाट हैज बीन सेड बाय महबूबा मुफ्ती, and how it's most unfortunate given the number of brave hearts who we lost out on, more than 500. This is a war that went on for 2 long months. Colonel Pillay, before I go across to Charu Pragya, who wants to respond to Sandeep Singh, how would you read into the comments that have been made today?
I think it's an unwanted
Charu, I'll come back to you.
Actually not really been of any, has really not done anything for the peace in the subcontinent. He's the one, actually, in his own country, he's been accused of treason, and he's a fugitive from his own country. To give him that honor of trying to say that he did a lot for this in light of all the evidences, it's clearly that Mr. Tharoor is oblivious to the fact he worked for the UN those days. And as you know, that he joined the Americans in the side for the war against terror. And he also nursed the terrorists in their own, in fact, even sheltered Osama bin Laden in that. So he probably speaks an American line when Tharoor speaks, that he did much for peace. That's what we heard from them. For many years, we've heard about the European, in fact, when the whole world was witness to a genocide that took place in East Pakistan, the Americans said Yahya Khan was the greatest dictator. And so probably there are some people who align with that kind of an ideology. It's a ridiculous thing to say that he did a lot for the peace in the subcontinent. We know what he's done. He's, in his own book, in his own admissions, he's made very clear that I have been, particularly you must know that he was a muhajir, in the sense he went from India and he was to be accepted in that region. He had to be really, he had to really prove himself to be more Pakistani than the Pakistanis themselves, and that's what something. He's been actually very brutal with our with the way that he's dealt with India. He backstabbed us while Bajpayee and Nawaz Sharif was meeting. Then his telephone calls from China supervising the incidents that was intercepted by agencies. And in his own admission in his book, what he's done, definitely don't qualify him as a man of peace. He was a devious and a dubious man, which in his own country, he was a fugitive, and I don't think that he ran away to avoid the law catching up. He was living a life of a fugitive. So I think it's totally misplaced to honor him with that.
Absolutely. Besides, he admitted that Pakistan trained Lashkar-e-Toiba. Lashkar-e-Toiba, remember, was solely to be blamed for 26/11 attack. Thereafter also spoke of how ISI trained Jaish-e-Mohammed, which was behind the Pulwama attack, wherein we lost 40 of our CRPF brave hearts. Absolutely shocking what we're learning and picking up from some of these politicians in India, because Charu Pragya, before they want to go ahead with these comments and perhaps draw the attention of international leaders, global leaders, they must not forget that they are Indian politicians and must keep at heart the sentiments of Indians.
Ms. Tween, thank you for echoing what is in my own heart. It doesn't matter what Musharraf was to his own country. We need to remember what he was to ours. He was the mastermind behind the war that took away 527 of our brave soldiers. He was the person because of which this cross-border terrorism never took a pause. He was the person who in fact took pride in making sure that the Taliban was well trained. He gave shelter to Osama bin Laden, called them heroes, called them brothers. And we cannot have Indian politicians. No politician in India, no citizen of India who praises him today. It is shameful. We cannot even let them get away by saying that it's a personal opinion. It cannot be a personal opinion when it seems to have become the Congress line of thought repeatedly. With Rahul Gandhi saying, "Hamare jawan pit rahe," and Digvijay Singh asking for proof of the surgical strike still. And now Shashi Tharoor adding more fuel to the fire. There has to be collective answerability of these Congress leaders to the citizens of India, because repeatedly they make these statements. It is not done by mistake. They're always found to be standing on the wrong side of the border.
And while you're asking these questions of the Congress, I want to put out the reaction coming in from the Congress party. Stay on with us. The Congress this time around has come out to question the Vajpayee Sarkar, the then Vajpayee government, asking as to why is it that the then BJP government tried to hold peace talks with Pervez Musharraf. Let's play out this reaction coming in from Udit Raj.
The first, they should condemn Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Kargil, if Musharraf was responsible for Kargil and infiltration and terrorism, then why did Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee extend the hand of friendship? Why did he invite him? Why did he take initiative to have a peace with him? Why was there negotiation with him? They are responsible. They were in the power at that time. So the first they should question the patriotism or whatever you may see, the foreign policy of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee then.
Okay, since Sandeep Singh has condemned what Shashi Tharoor has said, I want Colonel Pillay to come in with a quick rebuttal, because attempts were made by the then Vajpayee Sarkar, in fact, sir, and you can perhaps come out with your commentary on the same, to fix things, to really go ahead and make sure that there is an environment of peace that sustains. But the fact remains that the Agra summit that took place under the leadership of Vajpayee did not succeed for a reason. And the reason perhaps was Pervez Musharraf not agreeing to what the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government proposed.
Yeah, it's totally correct. We have tried our best, so you can't be blamed for actually trying to bring peace to the region. I think like what Mr. Udit Raj, former MP from BJP himself, would be talking is completely misplaced. I don't think we can discredit Indian establishment's efforts for trying to find peace to a Kashmir solution, because that's something that has been bleeding the country, that's led us to many wars, and in fact, Pakistan has no claims at a locus standi on the issue on Kashmir at all. If at all they should lament the loss of Bangladesh, which they lost because of their own policies. And now today, when you try to praise Musharraf for the efforts that have taken place, it's like the Europeans or the British trying to praise Hitler for unifying Europe. You know, Europe did their bit. In fact, first they also even talked to Hitler in the early days before the World War started. In fact, there were these talks between Chamberlain and others, and they talked about no war. And it's only Hitler that went ahead, and you had this World War II happen. Now, can you blame the Winston Churchill government and the British governments to actually? So please study history. And
Colonel Pillay, this is quite unfortunate, because, you know, Udit Raj failed to condemn what Shashi Tharoor said. He said Pervez Musharraf was the real force of peace. Failed to condemn what anyone else has said in favor of Pervez Musharraf, but has questioned the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. Quite shocking. Let's see how this plays out. Thank you for joining us on this very special debate.